Hey everyone, welcome back to TechOps Tutorials. In our last Kubernetes video, we looked at labels and selectors. Today we are moving to another important concept, that is annotation. We will talk about what annotations are, how they are different from labels and some real world use cases. And also we will do demo on this topic. So let's get started. So before we dive deeper, let's quickly recap what labels are in Kubernetes. Labels are basically key value pairs that help groups and organize resources. Think of them like tags that you can attach to your pods or other objects. Selector then use these labels to filter out exactly what you want. For example, if we set app equals to nginx, a selector will pick all the pods with that label. This is super useful because it lets us organize related resources, target specific groups with commands, connect Kubernetes components, and even enable the service discovery. In the example here, you can see the pods with the label app equals to nginx are selected while others without it are filtered out. Simple but very powerful. Now let's talk about annotation in Kubernetes. Annotations are also key value pairs, but they are different from labels. Unlike labels, annotations are not used for selecting or grouping resources. Instead, they are designed to store extra metadata about your objects. This can even include large values or JSON data. For example, you can store things like a version of your app, a git-commit ID, or information about the team that owns the service. Think of it this way. Labels are like a name tag used for identification and filtering. Annotations are like sticky notes where you write extra details for context. Kubernetes itself does not use annotation for filtering, but tools and controllers rely on them heavily for config, build info, or versioning. Point to be noted, use labels for grouping and selections. Use annotation for metadata and extended information. Here is a quick comparison between labels and annotation to make things clear. Labels are used for grouping and filtering, while annotations are not. Labels are also indexed by Kubernetes, meaning the system can query and filter the resource based on them. Annotation don't work that way. Another difference is in the type of data they can hold. Labels are meant for small values only, like app equals to nginx, but annotation can store much larger or structured data like JSON, for example, a git commit ID or a version details. Just keep in mind, use labels for organizing and selecting the resource, and use annotation for storing extra details that don't need filtering. Now let's talk about some real world use cases where annotations are really helpful. First, metadata. You can store details like maintainer emails, documentation link, or compliance info. Next is versioning. Annotations are often used to record application version, git commits ID, build timestamp, or even the release team details. For CI/CD pipeline, tools like Jenkins, Helm, or AgroCD use annotation to track the deployment jobs and sync status. In Ingress and service mesh setup, annotation configuration things like rewrite targets, TLS certificates, or a service discovery for monitoring tools like Prometheus. Kubernetes itself also use annotations internally, for example, to keep a track of last applied configuration or a security policies. And the big benefit is annotation let you store complex configuration data, improve automation, make resource easier to discover, and even document why something was configured a certain way. In this YAML example, we are looking at labels and annotation. Labels are simple key value pairs used to identify and group resources. For example, Here we have a label called app with a value nginx. Annotation, on the other hand, are used to store more detailed information. They can hold a longer text or structured data like this description or git-commit ID you see here. If you want to apply this YAML file, you can simply run the command kubectl apply -f pod with annotation.yaml. Please note, labels should always stay short and clear for selection, while annotations are better for extra details that you don't use for selection. Let's look at some best practice for using annotation. Do use label for grouping and selectors and use annotation only for storing metadata. Keep your annotation tool friendly by giving them a clear names and always document their purpose. Don't store sensitive information or secret inside annotation. Also, avoid using them for large binary data or blobs. You should not try to select resources based on annotation, and don't create annotations without a clear purpose. Please note, to avoid conflicts, it's a good practice to use namespace prefix when creating custom annotation. For example, example.com/git-commit. Now let's start the demo. As you can see on the screen, we will be creating a pod with annotations, checking them, adding and removing annotations, and finally trying a filter. I will walk you through these steps directly in the terminal. Let's open the terminal. I have started Minikube with ---- driver equals to docker. Now let's verify the cluster is running or not. kubectl get nodes. Make sure we have a clean Kubernetes environment before we start. No old pods, service or config interfering. So let's clean up any leftover resources. kubectl delete all --all. So let's verify the cluster is clean or not. kubectl get pods. It is terminating. With this pod we can also check service and deployments. We are starting with a clean Minikube cluster, so we are all on the same page. If you are already got one running, you can skip this step. So now let's create a pod along with the labels. I will also add a few annotation like description, git-commit ID and owner details. test-pod.yaml. API version v1. Kind will be pod. Metadata, provide the name, nginx-pod. We'll add some labels here. App, nginx, annotations, description, this pod runs the nginx web server, and git commit. Randomly we can give A1, B1, C1, D1, E1, something like this. Example, just we are taking an example here. Owner, what we will do, we'll add TechOps tutorials. Now let's add a specs. Container, nginx image, nginx latest, save it, kubectl apply. What I will do, move this test-pod YAML to kubectl apply -f nginx-pod.yaml, kubectl get pods, kubectl get pods, show labels. We have added app equals to nginx as a label. This verifies the pod creation, and also we have verified the labels. So next is, let's describe the pod to see the annotation we just added. Kubectl describe pod nginx-pod kubectl. Here you can see the annotation session. We can directly filter this as well. Let's see how we can filter it instead of seeing everything. Kubectl describe, just I will add grep, annotations, okay. You will find them listed under the annotation section, or you can also run grep-a5 so that you will get the exact and required output. Next, Kubernetes also allows us to add an annotation on the fly. For example, let's attach a build URL to this pod, kubectl annotate pod nginx-pod. We can add build-URL. For example, I will take http ci.example.com. Now we can add job/123. It's a typo mistake for kubectl. So now let's verify if it has been added successfully or not. Kubectl describe pod. Our pod name is nginx-pod. Grep build-URL. You will see the new annotation under the annotation session, or you can also grep build-URL. If an annotation is no longer needed, we can remove it easily. Here, I will remove the owner annotation. Kubectl annotate pod nginx-pod. This is my pod, and I will mention owner. Let's check again to confirm it's gone. Kubectl describe pod nginx-pod grep owner. There is no any details. Let's see by scrolling up. Here you will not see any owner details. Finally, let's try to filtering pods by an annotation. This won't work because annotations are not meant for selection. Let's try kubectl get pods -l. I can mention git-commit will add the same details. Notice no result is shown. Now let's try filtering by a labels instead. kubectl get pods -l app equals to nginx. App equals to nginx. And here you will see the pod listed, proving that labels can be used for filtering, but annotation cannot. And that's it for this demo. We learned that annotations are extra details you can attach to a Kubernetes object. Use labels when you need to identify and query resource. Use annotation when you want to store metadata, version info, or tool specific configuration. In real world Kubernetes setup, you will see the annotation everywhere, especially in Ingress monitoring and CI/CD pipeline. If this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss further Kubernetes tutorial. And also check out our other videos on Minikube deployment services to improve your Kubernetes skills. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next tutorial.